The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Ford Brothers Auction, Kentucky Orthodontics and Invisalign, La Rosa's Pizza, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, Prep Spin, P-Rats, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
And welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report for this week. And we got a great show coming up for you this week. If you haven't caught the Scholastic Ball Report, you're going to catch a lot of timely things right now. Nigel Smith, the head coach at Lexington Catholic, is going to talk to us about that great game they had with Covington Catholic Friday a week ago. They were outstanding, won that game on a last-second blocked of a field goal. We actually have the young man on with us, too, that blocked that field goal. And we got another feature from WKYT. Actually, it's from Rob Olery this week. He was out at volleyball, so we'll have a feature from him. And our scholar athlete, well, she's a former Scholastic Ball Report intern and a senior at Scott County High School, and she also carries a 4.3 grade point average. Her name is Allie Viney. We'll talk with Allie on the show a little bit later. And also Jansen Merriman is in from UK Sports Medicine, and he will keep us in the game out there. And all that's coming up on the show, and the Scholastic Ball Report will continue after these messages. Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. We thank Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky. They're on Main Street. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Our team of the week / coach of the week is Nigel Smith from Lexington Catholic. He's with us, and Jackson Klein. Welcome to the Scholastic Ball Report. You guys have been on before. You were on earlier this year with some scholar athletes out there, Coach.
Yes, sir. So thank you for having us back. Obviously, we had a great win on Friday night. It's a great team win, and hopefully, propel us into a good playoff run.
That's right. It's a good way to end your regular season, Coach. This has been the most challenging season on record with COVID-19 abound. Your team has been very good at handling the challenges. Talk to us how you've been able to do this.
Well, our biggest key this year is that it takes a lot of self-discipline to be successful during the football season. And we've tried to impress upon our young men that it takes a lot of self-discipline to handle all of the new procedures, the new regulations they got to deal with. So we want to take and put those things hand in hand, that if we can be as successful as possible at handling all these new regulations and procedures, we've got to be able to use it to our benefit and add into that discipline to win football games.
Right. That's a good point. Seniors are the key for any good football team. Tell us about the seniors at Lex Cath and what they've meant and how they've stood out this year.
Well, we've got a group of 21 young men that have been a united group for a long period of time. This group has been very successful. They were freshman conference champions going back a few years ago, and their goals are high, and they're working well together. They're playing with each other, and they feed off of each other. And our hope is that now we've got them in the position to do some really good things.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you about Jack Goman, your quarterback. He's following a legend there at Lexington Catholic, and Bo Allen, a record holder. He'll probably be the starter at the University of Kentucky before too long, if you know what I mean. How do you rate Jack's performance up to this point right now?
Well, one of the things that we have to all understand is that Jack is not Bo, and Jack is Jack. Jack is his own player, and he has his own strengths. And we, as a group, as a team, are attempting to be united and let all of our players play to the best of their ability. And when we got those guys on the field, we're supportive of each other. And what somebody else has done in the past, we can't worry about that. It's all about the now, about the present, and helping each other out.
And Jackson Klein is with us as well. And Jackson, I want to get you in on the interview here. So thanks for joining us on the Scholastic Ball Report.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
You got the big block of the field goal. There was a 46-yard field goal. Did you know going into that, I think there was a timeout call right before you guys blocked it. Did you know that Granati was one of the best kickers in the state of Kentucky, going to Army on a scholarship?
Yes, sir, I did. So on film, we've been watching him all week. He was drilling long field goals. I
Yeah.
also followed him on Twitter and seen his long field goals over the course of the year. And I knew he was a really highly rated prospect, and I knew he had the leg for that kick.
Take us back to that position. Where were you, along as a defensive alignment? Were you inside, outside, whatever? And take us back to that block field goal.
So I was actually on the second from the outside on the right. JD Woodall was actually on my right side. He had been coming along the edge the entire game, and they were definitely keen on him on that last kick, and it just opened up the hole for me there on the inside between the tight end and the wing, and I was able to get through there untouched and was able to block the kick.
That's one thing that's always impressed me about Lexington Catholic over the years that I've covered them, almost 20 years now, is the players carry themselves with such class. They're very high, IQ people. Jackson Klein's a good example of that. So, when you look at the 37 game winning streak by Covington Catholic, Jackson, you mentioned that you followed Granati on Twitter and all that. So, how did that prepare you guys for that situation?
Well, last year we almost had him. You all were there for that
Yeah.
game. That was a great game. We should have had him last year, and I think that stuck with us, especially us underclassmen. Just that feeling last year, losing by 1 point. We knew we had to get him this year. We prepared well all week. The coaches got us ready for this game, and we played with a lot of heart on Friday, and we came out with a victory. And I couldn't be more proud of our guys.
That is Nigel Smith and Jackson Klein, one of the outstanding players out there at Lexington Catholic. And now we're going to this feature on the Scholastic Ball Report.
Thanks, Gary. We're sitting here at the KHSA State Volleyball Championships and wanted to make an announcement, a preview, something new that's coming with partnership with the KHSA and UK Sports Medicine. The weeks leading up to the State Football Championship, partnership with the KHSA and the Sweet and UK Sports Medicine, we are announcing that we are going to be presenting a KHSA State Football Legend of the Week. And those legends will be announced via UK Sports Medicine social media channel and the KHSA social media channel. Our partnership with the KHSA started in 1996, so that was the time frame that we started using to establish who these legends are going to be. So stay tuned in the weeks to come for that legend of the KHSAA State Football. Thank you.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Our Scholar Athlete of the Week is from Scott County High School, the one, the only, Allie Viney. How you doing, Allie?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. There's a lot to talk to you about. My goodness, in a pandemic, you carry a 4.3 grade point average. You swim, and the first thing I want to ask you is about your talent as an artist. You won the Kentucky Derby the award last year, right? You had the picture for the Derby that you painted?
Yes, sir. It's 2019. My poster got chosen to be the official Derby poster that year, and it's actually hanging in the Capitol permanently now. So
that's impressive. I have to go over to the Capitol and check that out. As far as grades, you're a 4.3, and that's why we want to emphasize on this segment. What types of AP classes and teachers and all that during this pandemic? I know you're doing some in-school learning right now, so talk to us about all that.
It's definitely been an adjustment. A lot of the stuff has been online, so my AP psychology class is still online. A lot of teachers, even though we're still in person, a lot of our content is still centering around online classes for students who chose to go virtual, and if we were to close again, it would just be easier for that transition. So it's definitely been an adjustment, but I think it hasn't been too bad.
And I know the swim team is getting ready to crank it up there at Scott County and all that. And you'll be a member of that. How many years you been on the swim team over there?
Oh, geez, since 8th grade, so probably about 5 years.
And what is your specialty?
100 breaststroke.
Talk to us about academically what you tried to accomplish this senior year, your last year during a pandemic, and what you think will carry over to college for you personally.
Well, a lot of this year for me has been about trying to get some college courses taken care of. So right now I'm in 2 AP classes and 2 dual credit classes. So I'll be going into college with hopefully a bunch of credits, and it'll make freshman year a lot easier. But this year I've just been focusing on a lot of scholarship work, a lot of admissions essays, just trying to get through the year.
Yeah. What college do you hope to attend next year?
Right now, I think my 2 favorites are probably UK and Western Kentucky.
I know why you would choose Western. You'd be following somebody's footsteps, right?
Oh yeah, my dad went to Western, but mainly I
Yeah,
like the idea of going to a bigger school.
yeah. Well, Allie, we appreciate you joining us on the show today and enlightening us to what's going on in this pandemic. And Pfizer just today, I think, announced they may have a 90% vaccine cure for the coronavirus. So we're hoping that that's working out. And I know you couldn't be happier about that either.
That would be awesome, and we would hopefully get a prom this year.
Yeah, that's right. Allie Viney, our Scholar Athlete of the Week from Scott County. She carries a 4.3. And now we're going to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Bryan Station has won 8 straight games, and one of the biggest reasons is their running back, Joseph Bond. He's not big in size, but he can really move down the football field. A couple of weeks ago against Simon Kenton, Bond had not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns for the defenders, leading his team to a 54-39 win over Simon Kenton. This is your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. I've been wanting to get this longtime coach, good friend of mine, on the show for a long time. This is the legends of high school sports in Kentucky. Roscoe Denny needs no introduction. Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Gary. How are you?
Doing
And
good.
thank you for having me on once again.
Okay. You've been coaching for nearly 50 years. Let me ask you, Roscoe, who are some of the coaches that have made an impact on you throughout these years?
Well, certainly Dave Fraley. He was the head coach of the 1986 state champion Pulaski County Maroons, and I was his assistant. And obviously, your good friend, Steve Wright, he's made an impact. He was the head coach of the 2005 South Laurel Cardinal state championship team, and I was his assistant. So definitely those two have had a certain impact, as well as a man named Don Marston that I worked with for many years at Danville, and Ralph Roberts that coached at McCurry County and Cumberland High School. He coached Tim Stevens in 1976, and Tim led the state in scoring that year. And then I would be remiss if I left out my good friend who skinned me many times. I learned a lot from him, with Bobby Keith.
Bobby Keith, yeah. What teams have left the biggest impact on you, you think, your life and you personally?
Thank you. Well, certainly those 2 state championship teams, because we've had so many get-togethers since, and of course Reggie Hansen on the Pulaski. I stay in touch with him, and Dave Fraley's son, Shannon, and the younger son are coaching at PC, so I'm in a lot of touch with them. And then obviously on the 2005 state championship team, Trey Smith is GJ's boy, and of course Ty Profit and Jordan Hammonds. But Also, Gary, as you well know, I was very fortunate enough to go to state as a head coach at Danville. I still stay in touch with some of those boys. Alex Newman lives there in Lexington, very successful businessman. And then again, I was lucky again and went to state with my own team at Breathitt County, and still stay and very close. I taught the superintendent at the Somerset. He played for me on that team at Breathitt County. So those boys have been very successful.
Yeah. And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Jansen Merriman is with us from UK Sports Medicine. Welcome into the show, Jansen. We appreciate you taking out your time.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Every sports team should have a medical kit on the sideline. What are some of the most necessary items for coaches to keep in that kit?
Just some simple things. You don't need a whole lot as far as the kit goes. Just make sure that you have, a big thing right now is your PPE and personal protective equipment. Your gloves and, for now, a mask and eyewear if needed. One of the big things is gauze, just to, for blood control, and then different assortments of Band-Aids and your pre-wrap and athletic tape just to do, your simple tape jobs if needed. Some couple other things. I mean, you can use ice bags for acute injuries, for swelling, and, for your ankle sprains, things like that. And then if you want to keep a pocket mask, and then just kind of be aware of where your AED is, kind of in coordination with the court or the field that you're on. Just kind of be mindful of that too.
Yeah. A medical kit should be checked prior to each practice or game. Why is that so important?
Just so it's ready, and you don't have to wonder if you have something in there or if you don't. Just kind of have it accessible for you and kind of just be ready to go if it's needed.
What happens if you get out to the field and there's something that's not in that kit that you need? You just send an assistant back. Do you have it on hand in the office, stuff like that?
Yeah, for some of these more rural schools, if you don't have an athletic trainer right there on hand, and if you have something that you need, and you have it there close, you can send somebody to go get it real quick for you, and it's probably the best outlet for that. But again, just to make sure you have the necessary things in the kit, just as kind of what's most important.
We appreciate you joining us, Jansen. Thanks for that information on the stocking and medical kit. That's always important to have that for really every sport, high school sports, college, and professional sports.
Yeah, sure. Just to be ready, and you never know what's going to happen. So just as long as you're prepared for it, it's all that really matters.
Right. Thanks, Jansen. And that's the wrap for the Scholastic Ball Report for this week. Nigel Smith of Lexington Catholic, thanks to Coach for joining us on the show. Jansen Merriman from UK Sports Medicine, Rob Ullery, and Allie Viney, a former intern. Thanks to her for her great insight on the pandemic season, how it's affecting the senior out there at Scott County High School. And the one and the only, Roscoe Denny. What a legend. 50 years of coaching. He coached back when I played at Boone County. So that's how long he's been coaching. So Roscoe Denny, thanks to him. As always on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see, those you don't see, keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Ford Brothers Auction, Kentucky Orthodontics and Invisalign, La Rosa's Pizza, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, Prep Spin, P-Rats, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.